So I'm excited to welcome with us today Tammeca Rochester. Tammeca has a wonderful immigration story, a fantastic American dream. She is runs the first cycling spinning studio in Harlem. She also has started a non-for-profit that helps orphans in South Africa. She's a really unique and interesting person, a fabulous individual who is really living her American dream. And we want to welcome Tammeca to the Brad Show. Tammeca, how are you?
I'm good, Brad. Thanks so much for having
And
me.
thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it. You are Skyping with us right now from your business, Harlem Cycling. Tell us a little bit about your business.
So just like you said, we are the first of our kind here. We're the first indoor cycling studio. So those of us who are unfamiliar with it, it's spinning. So doing that indoor workout on a bike. We are the first of our kind here in Harlem. So we were the entrepreneurs and the groundbreakers in that aspect. We do a lot of great unique rides. So on and off the bike workouts, making sure to really give you a total body workout.
So let me ask you a question. How long have you had this business going?
So April will be 2 years for us.
And
so still very new.
How is it being an entrepreneur? I know from reading your backstory that you were originally in corporate America. You got a paycheck every week, and now you're an entrepreneur. What do you like better? Quickly, what do you like better, entrepreneur or corporate America?
Entrepreneur.
All day long.
It drives you. It's what makes you want to jump out of bed.
Now you have an interesting immigration story. You were not born here in the United States. You are originally from Jamaica, I understand. And tell us a little bit about your immigration story and if there was anything within your story that made you stronger or more determined to do what you're doing today.
So I was born in St. Elizabeth, Jamaica. So we didn't come over till I was about 4 or 5 years old. So what's interesting is we were able to immigrate because of my father. So when my father was 9 years old, his mom got a work visa to come to the U.S. She couldn't bring everyone with her, so she had left my father with his stepfather at the time. And, you know, her goal was to come work, save up so she could afford to bring her kids. And so her stepfather, my dad's stepfather, immediately the moment she got on the plane, dropped my dad off with his biological father. So he was left in Jamaica. His stepfather had brought him to, St. Elizabeth, and he was originally living in St. Anne. And his biological mom, who was in the U.S., had no way of contacting him, had no way of finding him. At the time, St. Elizabeth, we just got running water and electricity just 10 years ago. So we were a little behind. And so one day when my father had turned about 21, 22, he was in Kingston and he saw a poster for his wanted child ad. So he was considered missing all those years, and he just thought his mom had abandoned him. And so he was able to connect with his biological mother through that.
Where do you see? Can I ask a question? Because I don't even know this. Where do you see the missing child ad? Is it in a newspaper? Is it like posted on on a wall somewhere as you're walking down the street? How did he actually find it? And said, "Oh my God, that's me."
He saw it just randomly on a wall, like you know how those signs are just left up and they just wither away after years. He just saw an image of himself.
Oh my God!
One day. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Crazy, right?
And then he was reunited with his mother.
Yes. And so he was able to connect with her. At the time, he was already married. He had both myself and my sister. And so because she had filed for him when he was much younger to come over, she just couldn't locate him. It was a lot faster for us to get over. So we came over when I was about 4 or 5 with my mom and my dad, and connected with his biological mom.
Right.
But of course, as you come into America, things are not that easy. So my parents, were cleaning hospitals when we came, and they had to send me and my sister back for a year because they didn't know what to do.
They couldn't afford to keep the whole family.
Exactly, they couldn't afford to have us. Right. So we went back to my other grandma, and then we came back a year later.
So now you not only are you an entrepreneur and you have all these classes to run, and you're probably in great shape too. Right? You also have started a charity for orphans in South Africa. How did you get involved doing that? What inspired you to do that?
So about 10 years ago, I'd actually went to South Africa on vacation, or what I perceived as vacation. I knew I'd be there volunteering, but I always believe that whenever you travel to a country, you can't just come and live off the tourism. You have to give back in some way. So every time I travel, I always do at least one day of service. And so when I went 10 years ago, there was actually a group of us from college that went, and we were volunteering, and I just met these kids, and it just, their spirit was just so overwhelming. And I thought, I can't just walk away from this and pretend like I don't see what's happening. And I can't pretend like there's nothing I can do. I know when, the American dollar is stronger. And so a little bit goes a long way when I go down there. And 10 years now, we've been going strong. And it's been, to me, it's more rewarding.
Now,
I think I'm getting more out of it sometimes than the kids, because it has truly changed my life.
now, and that's you in South Africa. Where is this orphanage? Where in South Africa?
So we work across 5 different schools and 1 orphanage. So it's in the KwaZulu-Natal district, which is the district that has the highest number of HIV and AIDS-related cases. It's in Durban.
Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you a little story about me. I had gone to South Africa about 5 years ago. I, too, believe that you have to give back even when you travel all over. And I have pictures, which I'm going to show, that me and my children went to visit a school and spent an entire day. We went out to the local store. We bought materials, hammers, and we built there we are. We built an entire swing set for these children who really have almost nothing in the townships in Cape Town. And we spent a day with them. And we even went out and we went and got them candies and chocolates, things that you would take for granted here in the United States of America, that these children have never even tasted before in their entire life. And there we are inside the school, and we spent an entire day with them and built them a swing set. And as a matter of fact, my daughter had donated money to them from her bat mitzvah. The money that she got as presents for her bat mitzvah was donated to this school.
Awesome. That is amazing. And that's what it's really all about, is being able to touch the lives of someone, even just for a minute.
Yeah. So that's really wonderful. So how can somebody contribute to your non-for-profit to help these children in South Africa try to, make a better life for them?
So visit our website. We're at www.trg-international.org, and there's many ways to donate on our page. So you can do something monthly, one-time donation, or we go back each year. So we go back end of June, first week of July, where we take volunteers from the U.S., bring them back, and you teach and travel with us for 2 weeks across Africa. That's
amazing. Now, before you leave, what advice do you have? Because this is an immigration show. What advice do you have for immigrants who, A, come to America? You saw how your parents had to survive when they first came. And what advice do you have for them after they've established their roots here? If they want to follow in your footsteps and be an entrepreneur, what advice do you have for them?
My advice is just keep working. I know it's difficult. There are many things that I do every day that I wonder if it's making an impact. So as an entrepreneur, you just toil and toil and toil away and hope that one day something will happen. But you never know how close you are to making that difference. So my advice to anyone who's looking to entrepreneurship is to stay focused, stay committed, and just keep pushing.
Well, Tammeca Rochester, you are an amazing woman, an entrepreneur. You give back to not only here in the United States, but in South Africa as well. A fabulous story. You've shown what it takes to be an entrepreneur, a woman entrepreneur, a woman of color, an immigrant who is successful, smart, has multiple degrees. Congratulations to you, and hopefully you're an inspiration to some people who watch as well. Thanks for joining us.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.